Greetings. Rogue Dragon Speaks here. How y'all doing? I know it's been a while. It's been kind of a hectic year. I've been under stress. I'm going to try and post more this year for you because I never started the solo gaming series I promised. I had a wound to my foot that healed up around this time last year, and I broke it open twice because I overdid it. And what I've got to do is it'll be healed back up in about a month or so, and then I've got to continue to wear the all-floating shoe. It's on my heel, and until the fat migrates back over the bone, because there's a bone hitting the skin, and then I overdo it when I start to walk, and it messes up on me. So this is Castles and Crusades, okay? Adventurer's Backpack. It's a new edition, non-OGL. And with my pledge, I also got Rune Lore, Ahidul's Keep, and Adventurer's Companion. So, gonna try and build the channel this year and appreciate a like and subscribe. So, Adventurer's Companion is all about familiars, okay? Animal companions for Castles and Crusades, but you know, this kind of game, you can use this with any OSR. So here we have general animal companions, and no table of comments. You could have a crab. Just normal, regular stuff there. And let's see, goats, hedgehogs. And then we have, so that's animal companions. I said familiars, that's animal companions. Then we have familiars. Familiars and the Adventurer's Backpack. While they are not given full write-ups in this book, each of the classes provided in the Adventurer's Backpack have rough equivalents in the player's handbook, and acquire familiars in the same way as do those classes. For quick reference, class equivalents are provided below. Okay. So that's just so you can figure out how to do it for your if you're using a different class. Let's see. Okay, Assassin's familiar. Interesting. Barbarian's familiar. And we would expect, of course, bards, clerics. So they're doing it, how to do your familiar for druid, of course, would be obvious for a druid. And for magic users, of course, I'm sure they have the illusionist familiar. Oh. And interesting artwork there. Knights, paladins. Okay, so all kinds of familiars. And then here we have Ahidul's Keep, which is going to be, you know, a module, obviously. Okay, a tournament scenario designed for use with Castles and Crusades, featuring a dungeon crawl and a Wild West flavored frontier. The version of the scenario has been expanded to include an optional prologue in a nearby town from which the PCs can set out. So Hills Keep is a remote mine which sits on the southern edge of a red mesa in the rugged wilderness of the Badlands. Okay. And try and see. I don't see where it says what level this is for. I'm assuming it's for first level characters. Okay, run the dungeon. We have one monsters. So it's a nice standard entry level dungeon, I believe. Let's see, where's the, here's the maps. So Dwarven Mine, level 1, 2, 3, so we have an extensive dungeon. So a nice little beginner module, or could be used as a one-shot. All right, castles. I'm gonna say rune lore. So this is the new type of magic, rune magic for castles and crusades. Right here, rune magic lies rooted in the language of creation. Understanding what that is, where it came from, and how it entered the broader world is the first step in understanding the power of the runes and how they're used. Okay. Sorcerer's runes. All that. So we got a character class, the Rune Mark. Here's its abilities, and there's its abilities for 13th, above 13th level. It's got some new spells. Magic using runes, how to use the runes. Rune spells. So it looks like we have a list here of 30 new spells. And then it says runes of creation, then we got 11. So there's active runes, static runes. Let's see, runes of the initiate. So these are the beginner level spells. And then we have runes of creation, runes of destruction, runes of entropy. So we're gonna have arc of time, blood runes. So we got a whole big shadow sickness. We got all these runes and different classes of runes, and it's a whole new spell system for you to play with. Especially if you're a fan of something like RuneQuest. I want to do something like that with your castles and crusades. All right. So now we have the Adventurer's Backpack. And I believe this is new artwork. The wraparound. Okay, so classes and a castle keeper. So here we have all these new types of classes. Then race classes by race, like the Ironborn, which is dwarf, or Magi, which is elf only, middle primeval, halfling, feral. Then you have the equipment tables, and you have the expert backpacks. So they have these backpacks that you buy with an encumbrance value, and it's, all the equipment's already in them. And expanding classes, multi-classes, different kinds of multi-classes, class plus, change your class, blah, blah, blah. So here's the new classes. Arcane Thieves. They possess an extraordinary understanding of magic, its use, its origins, and its application. They feed upon the arcane powers of others, mimic them, and remold them to their own needs and ends. There's archers, warriors who devoted their lives to the study of archery, blade dancers, masters of the blade, divine knights are a physical manifestation of a deity and have a specific purpose or task to undertake. The divine knight need not pray for spells or powers, they are innate to it, and only become more powerful as they gain levels. Ethereal knights, plane walkers, they possess an intimate connection with the planes beyond the material. At times they are aware of this, at others they come into the knowledge after much hardship and toil. Forsworn are warriors possessed of an extreme confidence in themselves and their comrades, such that governs all they do. They have learned that they are but tools in a greater game that no servant can win. To win it, the game must be played on one's own terms. Magic users tap into the net of magic that lingers in all things and convert it to their use. They see the world differently than most. They hunger for a power that they are dauntless in their endeavors to master. Indeed, they alone are capable of doing so. So I think it's wizards in the regular player's handbook instead of magic users. It's wizards. And now this is going to be magic user. I don't want to read up the Forsworn. Let's see, Pacers are long accustomed to the towns and cities of the world. They are able to follow the beat of almost any urban environment and learn its people, its ways, its culture, and exploit it for the purposes of those they are hired to serve. Primal druids are steeped in the belief that the natural world is an unforgiving, unknowing force. The swift and strong dominate the slow and weak. They devote their lives to understanding this and channeling this power. That sounds like a druid to me. Rune marks. Okay, we were just talking about rune marks. They have the whole book of spells for them. Seekers are those who find themselves born into impossible situations, whether by desire or by chance, but who have the innate ability to adjust and overcome. They are blessed with the extraordinary ability to adapt to almost any situation. Let's see. And we have skalds. Skalds tap into the magic of fairy and use it to their own ends. They enhance their prowess on the field of battle and through their songs and deeds inspire others to feats far beyond their normal capability. We already have bards. Okay, some of these classes are, I think, just, like other classes. Some of them are good. Some of them, the thief. I've read about the thief before. The thief is almost the same as the rogue. That's what they have in the player's handbook instead of thief. They have rogue. It's almost identical. I mean, it's like what's the point, you know? Warlocks bargain with powerful entities as time to their own detriment to gain knowledge and power, be it mundane or otherworldly. Warrior priest, you know, dedicate their lives for preserving the beliefs and traditions of the gods. I mean, you can just be a cleric and do your spells and wear heavy armor and stuff. Be a warrior priest. Okay. And then some specialty races for specialty classes for races. Nice artwork right here. Okay, so the Forsworn, page 36. I'm curious about the Forsworn. Okay. So you have a die hit sites, hit dice there. Charisma attribute. Remember, you have to pick one of your primary attributes has to be the same as your character class's primary attribute. So you get a +1 to intelligence. Let's see. Description. Service to the gods and their priests yields many fruits, from the comfort of security to the suffering of labor unrewarded. But no matter the service, its nature, origins, or outcome, it always yields a tyranny of control and a binding of the spirit to the priests who act for gods, or pretend to. It is religious tyranny that many have suffered and endured, living out their days bound to a higher power. But there are those who serve, that question their service, who look upon the priests and temples and wonder what powers they truly serve. These few turn their backs on all those who would have dominance over them and push out into a wilder world, leaving the comfort of tyranny to forge a path of their own. Okay, the archetype. The Forsworn is one who is taken as a youngster into the bosom of a warrior priest's life. Now, they had a class called warrior priest. Now they got this class being described as a warrior priest. Serving a god or a warrior monk, minced in the religions of kingdoms and the business of gods. The Forsworn learned at a young age of the harsh realities which surrounded the motives of the divine. They learn that they are but tools in a greater game that no servant can win. To win it, the game must be played on one's own terms. Okay. Purpose. They have traveled to many realms, over the seas and into the wilds, where few tread. A quick wit, intelligence, and commanding presence allows them to rise to the top of their companies and to earn or steal their freedom. However, acquire the freedom is dear to them and shared with only a few. Those few are companions for life. It is around their friends and their collective freedom that the Forsworn build their ethos. For one has only your wits and your friends with which to play the game. Everything else is a tool or an enemy. They are loyal to their companions, patient and accepting, but are damningly hard upon their enemies. Okay. They can use any weapon. They have hit that 10. They get a dexterity bonus to initiative rolls. Let's see. They get a +1 saving throws on divine spells. Iron Certainty, Charisma. Note, this benefit is applied only to attribute checks. Saving throws gain no such benefits. Oh, okay. The Charisma. I need bonuses for that. combat attrition, muscle memory. It just sounds like these are specializations that they could, use for the fighter class. You know, at this level, the Forsworn's peculiar background and training have imbued them with an almost spiritual concentration on the task at hand. Their actions and reactions are governed by instincts, training, and muscle memory. This grants the Forsworn their dexterity bonus to initiative rolls. Okay. I used to think that you would use dexterity bonus for initiative rolls anyway, but maybe not in Castles and Crusades. Maybe I'm thinking about like 1E D&D. Let's see, combat attrition. At 10th level, the Forsworn is a force to be reckoned with. They have long since come to terms with the gods and the power they hold over mortals. Their knowledge and acceptance of it allows them to channel it and use the power against their foes. They project an aura of almost godlike confidence. All those who fight them are worn down, disheartened, and wounded. Any creature seeking to attack the Forsworn within 15 feet of them must make a charisma saving throw or suffer 1d4 points of damage. Okay, that's interesting. And then it's got the above 13th level stuff here. Now, in the non-OGL Player's Handbook, the new edition, they did that with their regular classes too, which it used to be in the GM's Guide. Okay, so Seekers. I want to look at another one. I want to look at Seekers. So, obviously with something like the Runic Caster, obviously they put a lot of effort into that because they got a whole book added on for its spells. But some of these classes, Seeker, 68. This is a very professional book. It's good quality paper, okay? And as you can see, it's got lots of good artwork in it. Okay. Here's Scald. Seeker. It's a good picture there. Okay. So the Seeker. Primary attribute, Wisdom. Hit dice, die 8. It gives you any weapon or armor, any disposition. That's alignment now. They call it disposition. Let's see. Attribute boost. You can use like a +3 on one attribute check per day. Get a bonus to find secret doors. You can change your non-wisdom primes daily. Oh, that's interesting. So they use a siege engine, which are prime attributes. You get better saving throws and attribute checks. If you didn't know that about Castles and Crusades. So, find the way. Oh, I find secret doors. Temporal entanglement. They can travel in time to a reset point. Very interesting. Okay. In the maelstrom of the world's chaos, events often take on a life of their own, pulling all with them, devouring the weak, and leaving the strong bereft of direction. Here, chance plays a role greater than any would ever hope. To offset this, people learn skills with which to bring a sense of control and order to the world. But it is a fleeting governance, for always in the background, chance looms, luck turns, and the fates become blind to one's hoped for destiny. But there are those who would stand apart like a pillar in the wind, thus the seeker. Let's see. The archetype. A seeker is one blessed with the extraordinary ability to adapt to almost any situation, to bend chance to their will, to draw the fates into line. Their reactions are laced with both luck and instinct. When the situation calls for speed, they move fast. When it calls for a calm deliberation, they take a step back. When it calls for brute strength, they can exhibit this as well. And when all these fail, they are possessed of a pure brand of luck that seems to draw them to the extraordinary and save them from the dangerous. Their instinct allows them to solve riddles, to find secret passageways, and understand the hidden meaning of things. They are born adventurers. Purposes. Seekers rarely fear loss, defeat, or even death, for they possess an unflappable belief in their own fate. They confront most danger with disbelief, as if it were no real threat after all, but only a moment in the story. The world will not unfold to slay them or leave them in ruins. This attitude is deeply ingrained in the seeker, so much so that they confront almost any task, great or small, as if it were no concern. Outcomes are judged by the degree of success, never failure. They are generally optimistic, perhaps a little too trusting, maybe somewhat confused at the struggles of others, but always grateful to the world and those around them. So you got a fighter, any armor, any weapon with a hit die of 8 instead of 10, but he can basically do some time travel and do some interesting things with his stats. Let's see. Seeker at 13th level over repudiate damage. So they're struck to negative hit points. They do not suffer damage, but heal 1 die 8 plus Constitution bonus hit points once per day. That's interesting. Time displacement. 15th level. They can move through time. We talked about already. At 17th level, the seeker can instantly change places with another PC or an NPC. Okay. Let's see. Equipment tables and backpacks. So this is the equipment tables. I don't know if they added anything from the player's handbook or not. But this is your basic equipment, weapons, armor, pelted skins. I think that's been added. Equipment general. Equipment general here looks more like more stuff, more detailed. equipment, clothing, and then here it's got like all these backpacks. You got, you can buy 50 gold paces. It's got your weight, your comfort value of it. Large expert shoulder pack, for an example. And it's got, you know, it's got a detail for you. The internal capacity is 20. So you can put 20 in comfort value in there. Quick release mechanism takes 3 seconds and 1 with a successful dexterity check. External contents. So summer bedroll tied to the bottom, 2 torches tied rolled over the bedroll, 50 feet of silk rope tied to the outside of the back, 2 1-quart water skins, one on each side, yeah, 3 pronged folding grappling hook, you know, tied to the side, dual-headed hatchet tied to the side, measuring stick. Okay, so that's all on the outside of it. The internal's got things like, you know, bandages, map case, you know, inkwell. You're supposed to have stuff like that because when you're writing down your map on graph paper, you're keeping it when the adventure's actually doing it on parchment. And then it's got, you know, you have torch wrappings to make torches rest, flint and steel, crowbar, you know, small shovel, small hammer, a wedge, you know, splitting with some sacks and some rations. So yeah, these are pretty cool. So that's a basic backpack. The expert backpack is 70 gold pieces, weighs almost twice as much, but the encumbrance value is only 15. So the reason is encumbrance value isn't just weight. Encumbrance is like how cumbersome is it? There's probably not like shovel and stuff like that. It probably doesn't have big stuff in this. It's got more items. It weighs more, but it's not as you know, unwieldy, shall we say? I'm gonna show you something. See, I almost forgot. Okay, I'm back. Check these out. These came with my pledge level adventure backpack equipment cards. So come on, what are you doing me this way? Open you before. Oh, you were nice. There we go. So we got you can actually play with these cards. They're marked. So they all say on the back, adventure backpack equipment cards. And then we have a Joker card, signed by David Chenault and one by Stephen Chenault. How about that? And you see King of Clubs there. It's got the markings for all your poker cards, but it's got all mending backpack, medic shoulder bag. So Wizard Illusionist Magic User backpack, Ethereal Knight Seeker backpack, Ranger backpack, Runner's pack. So these, a cold weather backpack. I guess, you know, if you wanted to use the Performer's pack and buy it, and then you could just have your card there, and then you could use another piece of paper to keep notes if you you know, eat your rations or add something to it or take something out. This makes bookkeeping a little easier. And it's a deck of playing cards as well. Okay. So you have packs by terrain, like cold weather backpack, you know, artisan pack, brewmaster pack. Some of these packs are, I guess, for your NPCs. And an assassin backpack. Wow. Assassin backpack costs 75 gold pieces. Encumbrance value is 6.25. Internal capacity is 12. Quick release mechanism takes 3 seconds. 1 with a successful dexterity check. Okay. 3-prong folding grappling hook, crowbar, rope, small mirror, map, inkwell, chalk. File, sit and steel, brace and bits, string, make a good caltrop, small tub of grease. Okay. No lockpicks. So I think in Catholic Crusades, assassins can still pick locks. Okay, so now we have equipment, trinkets, like I guess little trinkets that your character will follow. As mundane trinkets, minor magical trinkets. There's equipment. Just a little section here on pole arms. Guard dogs, battle mounts. This is a quick reference. It gives you the class and it's like what your gained abilities and things are, the names of them. And here's some information for expanding the classes. Oh wow. Yeah. That's good. Or maybe, maybe this is like a quick reference with the experience charts and things for different classes. And then it has notes like how to do different kinds of multi-classing. Land is a treasure, domains. So the fief level, its annual yield, its obligation, like what you have to pay for, as far as however many knights and men in arms or whatever. Land and treasuries, as an arcane thief, as an archer. It's different for some of the classes. Yeah, it's got all that. A lot of stuff in here. A lot of stuff in this book. So, good expansions for Catholic Crusades. And also, of course, you can use it for very easily to use Catholic Crusades for any OSR game, die 20, ascending armor class, similar everything. Of course, if you go to a game that has a descending armor class, they're even easy to change back and forth. Just 20 minus the armor class will take it back either way. Okay. So like I said, you give me a month or so here, and I'm gonna try and post more. Okay. You guys, I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.